analysts, developers, all that kinds of stuff. So that's who we are. And we also have some adjunct members that help us accomplish all of this stuff that we get done throughout the year. So if you wanted to go ahead and flip to the next slide. And I know we recognize some folks that we're saying goodbye to for 2022, but this is just a list of the folks that have helped us accomplish everything. For 2022, some of them are rolling off, and we're getting some new board members, specifically Nicole Pepper. She's going to be starting in April. She comes to us from the Colorado Mountain College, and she is a GIS analyst as well. And so she's going to be our one new board member. So I just wanted to recognize her. And then Rachel and Melissa handle our scholarship stuff. So they aren't sitting on the board of directors, but they do a phenomenal job and have for the last several years of compiling all those entries and analyzing all of the applications and picking those the winners for the scholarships that we give out every year. Okay. Yeah, next slide. Yep. Okay. So as a group, this is what you're looking at is our mission statement. These are based on the goals and objectives that we have set for ourselves. So this is sort of our elevator pitch. If you are able to pick up that QR code, it will take you to our website so that you can get all of this information there on your phone, your tablet, or on your desktop. Go ahead and, yep. And so based on that elevator pitch, we boiled it down to these 4 core values: educate, communicate, engage, and inspire. And our tagline is that we're your geospatial connection, mostly for Colorado, but we do have relationships with the other state GIS groups in Wyoming, New Mexico, Utah, Kansas. So next slide, thank you. Okay, yeah, okay, good, yeah. And so based on those core values, these are the 2 things that we're pretty well known for and do consistently. We have 4 quarterly meetups every year. And so what you're looking at here are the meetups that we had for 2022. We had our winter meetup at this time last year in Salida, a really good introduction to AGOL training. In the spring, every other year on even years, we partner with the Wyoming Geospatial State GIS Group and put on the Elevations Geospatial Summit Conference. We alternate the location. So this last year in 2022, it was our turn to host. So we had it in Steamboat. And then in 2024, it will be in Wyoming. We had it in Saratoga Springs in 2018. And then of course, y'all know what happened between 2018 and 2022. And so we did a nice virtual summer event, a 3-week-long summer event. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, really rewarding. But now we're back to in-person. So this was our first in-person since 2028. 2024 will be somewhere in Wyoming. That is yet to be determined. And then in the summer, we had a really great Drone 101 taught by Steve Hick from DU out in Leadville at the Painterboy campground, like the Turquoise Lake. And it was really well attended, very good time. We did not get rained out. A lot of people didn't show up because it looked like it was going to storm, and it didn't. So don't let that stop you. In the fall, we went to Alamosa and we did some park tours. They went out to the National Sand Dunes. And I believe there was one other one that the Park Service headed up for us. And I sadly missed that one. But the other thing we do very consistently and very well is the scholarships we give out for each year, 2 graduate and 2 undergraduate. Yep. And so these are our 2022 scholarship winners. So just want to take a second and recognize, and we will be opening up the applications for the 2023 scholarship here in the next couple weeks. So if you know of someone that's going to school at a Colorado school, tell them to apply. So some of the other things we did besides quarterly meetups and sponsor or scholarships, where we've been working on a website update. We got a new website stood up, and now we're just kind of going through and reorganizing some of the resources based on some member feedback, so that it's a little more intuitive and you're getting the things that you want and it's easy to find. The other thing we did was cleaned up our YouTube channel. A lot of people didn't even know we had that, but if you miss a training or you attended a training and you want to go back, it's on our YouTube channel, and we have nice descriptions and our logo so they're easily identifiable. We also started with a quarterly member newsletter. So if you are a member of GIS Colorado, it's $25 a year, you're getting a newsletter so that it gives you just a quarterly update about what we've been up to and what's coming up, so that you can kind of plan accordingly if you want to join us for some of these events or figure out if we're going to be in your area. And then of course, we've got some longstanding board members that are rolling off. And so we've had a lot of transition on the board, a lot of new members with some great ideas. And we're really excited to get started with these new folks. But even though these guys are rolling off the board, doesn't mean they're going too far, because a few of them have agreed to sit on an advisory council that we're just starting this year so that we can retain some of that knowledge, because they've been such an integral part of the board for so long. To have them run off with all that information that's all up here would be a nightmare for us. So we've started this advisory council so that we have them as a resource to go back to and make sure that we are staying on track as a board. And so for 2023, just a sneak peek, we have kind of determined where these quarterly meetups are going to be. Right here now in Pueblo is the one that we're at. And in the spring, we're going to be in Grand Junction. For the summer, we tend to do an off the grid, and that's going to be at Chris Park in Durango this year. It's camping. It's a lot of fun. If you're not into camping, there's hotels close by. You're more than welcome to stay at some place with electricity and plumbing and come meet us for the day. We have a lot of folks that like to do that. But space is limited. We did get a group site that typically there's room for, I think, 75 people, but don't always count on that number and register early. If you need to cancel, you can just contact myself, Kat, or questions@giscolorado.org, and we can always unregister you, but we can't give you a spot if there aren't any. So just keep that on your radar. And then in the fall, we'll be in Colorado Springs. And then for 2022, we know where we're going to be in the spring with the Elevations Geospatial Summit. And that's as far as we've gotten planning wise. So if you're not a member of GIS Colorado and you're wondering what value comes with that, everybody has the website as a resource, of course, but we're going to be adding a member dashboard. So there's going to be certain stuff that as a paid member you get access to that other folks won't. Like some of the training, it's not immediately available unless you attended and paid for that training. But if you're a member, you will be able to access it within about a week's time after the training has happened. So you get more of an immediate access, whereas non-members have to wait a couple months to get access to that material. The other thing too, you can add the GIS Colorado Google Calendar to if you are a Gmail user, you can add the calendar and you can access that once you log in with your member ID, username, password. And that way we will post all these quarterly events and any one-off items to our calendar, and you'll have that as a resource. The other thing too, we do have a presence on Eventbrite. That's how you register for these events. So if you want to follow us, every time one comes live or goes public, it'll notify you so that you know that the registration is open if you want to reserve your spot. And so remember, Fridays are always free and Thursday is the training, and that's usually for a nominal fee. And so you'd have to, if you want to attend both, you have to do both the registrations just so we have an accurate head count. We can have enough sandwiches for folks and keep in line with the fire codes and all that good stuff. We also have a Twitter account if that's your social media of choice. And we're on Facebook and LinkedIn. So if you want to keep up with us there, we have a presence on both of those. And we also have sponsorships because we can't do all that we do with just 9 volunteers and annual memberships. So we do offer annual sponsorships as well as event sponsorships. So if you're interested in those, the various categories are listed on our website. But what comes with that is we do post your logo on our website. you get access to, or I'm sorry, you get some limited marketing on our GIS Colorado listserv. And just to back up for a second, the listserv, the reason I didn't list that as a member resource is because it is free. Anybody can join it. It's a great little forum for sharing your GIS woes. If you're running into errors or issues, or you need some information or feedback, GIS related, the listserv is a great place to get it. But sponsors get access to limited marketing to our listserv. We try to keep that marketing to a minimum because it is a free resource, a technical resource for the most part. So with the sponsorship, you would get a limit of two to 4 emails, depending on the level of sponsorship. You also get speaking preferences. Like today, we had Brady talk with us. He sponsored us for our breakfast today. So he was able to be added to the agenda and talk with us about what he talked to us about. Yep. And you also, if you are this type of sponsor that provides training, we have had some of those, you get a bit of a preference if there's a time that works best and you want to host the training or put the provide the training, we can incorporate that into our agenda. And then you get access to the attendee list for these various quarterly meetups. Right. And that's it in a nutshell, what we've been up to for 2022, what's coming up for 2023. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out today and yesterday. Thank you to Emergency Services Center in Pueblo. We really appreciate it. And your beautiful tiles. If you guys don't take these home, I'm taking them all. They're so gorgeous. Thank you. Yes. All right.
Thank you, Jeannie. So that concludes our program today. Thank you so much for coming out. If you have a chance to look around your space and kind of do a little pickup before you go, that would be appreciated. Travel safe, and we'll see you at the next one in May in Grand Junction.
Thank you.